What is far deadlier than most people realize? Serious? Drinking. I'm someone who works in the ER. Yes, I drink a few ales/whiskies once or twice a month. But drinking heavily more than twice a week is a serious issue most folks overlook. It's a toxin that causes your system to release dopamine to counteract the poisonous effects of even moderate consumption. I'm not preaching abstinence, just the understand that alcohol causes a fight or flight response within the body. Changing a light bulb. Removed. A dull knife. 20 extra pounds. Driving in the morning. I'm currently studying as a technician in aviation. They teach us that doing task that needs attention in the morning is dangerous, especially driving, because that's the time when your body is telling you you're supposed to be sleeping. The chances of you crashing is high because more people aren't focused, and the volume of cars on the road makes it that easier for an accident to happen. Mosquitoes and diarrhea. Complacency. Overindulgence. Definitely sorting by controversial on this one. Garage door springs. Alcohol. Vitamins, especially if taken through supplements. In my experience it has to be the ocean. Why the fuck did I read this thread? Rat shit. I didn't have to go to the ER, but it was scary. I was staying on a friend's couch for a few months and decided to make a room for myself in the garage with tarp walls and a cot. One day, my boyfriend thought he identified the smell of rat feces. I didn't smell anything, took a nap in there the next day and woke up with the weirdest feeling in my throat and some mild difficulty breathing, and I could smell it. Really bad. Stayed at his house that night and, by the next day, I felt like total crap, and it almost felt like my lungs and throat were closing up. Those are the early symptoms of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, the virus transmitted from rats to humans via shit. I've read of it having a mortality rate of 38% and 50%. Not sure which is true, but either way, it's not something you want, as it can start to shut down vital organs. Cars. Have you ever driven? Shit is terrifying. And all of y'all just chillin', on the phone, eating chicken nuggets, performing plastic surgery, while your favorite song blasts loud enough to rattle my car and do a 5-lane change at 90 miles per hour in a 50 miles per hour zone so you can hit the right speed to go back in time and prevent Doc's murder and almost have sex with your teenage mother. Nah, fuck that. Escalators. I worked in the architecture/construction industry for 25 years, and the two worst accidents I witnessed were both escalators. One dude lost all the skin on one of his legs and up to his armpit. Don't play around on them. Definitely don't use a stroller on them. Diets with high fat and sugar. Dressers, tons of kids get crushed from unsecured dressers. You've got this. Just realizing your reality and admitting that you need to make difficult changes is such a huge step. Remember that even small steps in the right direction are wins. And even if you temporarily slip back into your old ways, that doesn't mean you've failed. Message me if you ever want someone to chat with. Heat, on a very hot day with sun exposure. Water, it's a serious force of nature. TikTok. Bites from potentially rabid animals. Climate change. Pregnancy. Seriously. People have no idea how often their lives and the lives of the babies are saved. Mixing bleach with other cleaning products. Yew bushes. So many homes have these in their yards. Can't believe the only thing keeping me from eating those berries as a kid was my grandmother saying don't, they're poisonous. I always figured they'd make me puke, but no. They lead to cardiac arrest and respiratory failure. The berries' bark and leaves are all poisonous, but it's most concentrated in the berries. Stuff like depression, dying of a broken heart, having fear of abandonment and then being abandoned, these things can actually kill. Bookshelves. White women's tears. Drinking. Don't assume your body appreciates alcohol or think it's cute to be hungover. It doesn't. It's not. Antibiotics. We have overused them in everything from agriculture to minor infections that would have resolved themselves, and now we are facing the reality that fully antibiotic-resistant bacteria are already causing thousands of deaths in addition to chronic illnesses. EMP, electromagnetic pulse. This can come in the form of a nuclear detonation above the atmosphere, or a solar event. We're due for a major solar event. Many argue overdue based on historical data of solar activity. Of course, international tensions present troubling possibilities as well. In the end, we don't hear much about it, and the electrical grid is not equipped to handle these events. If/when such an event occurs, it's essentially a SHTF scenario, not good to a catastrophic and society-shattering degree. The reason EMPs didn't curb everything in the past is because society, at that time, wasn't built entirely around electricity. Now, everything, almost all cars, almost everything we use, refrigerators, manufacturing equipment, pacemakers, hospitals, energy facilities, including solar and wind, the internet, that's a biggie as far as vain panics settling in, etc. Is predicated on electricity. The last major event, not major like the 1989 event, happened in 1859, over 160 years ago. If that happened today, which we're due for, it would take 4 to 10 years to recover. Currently, the ability to manufacture transformers, where power isn't cut off, is an extremely specialized endeavor, which takes over a year, let alone the need to build way more than one. Let us hope this is realized by the people who can make us less vulnerable soon. Datura, also known as moonflower, devil's weed and devil's trumpet. It's considered poisonous. We have a lot of them as weed in our area. Working too damn much. I know, it's expected, you're a lazy fuck if you don't. It leads to not getting rest so your body can heal, a really fucked social life, i.e. non, and just general stress, which suppresses your immune system, appetite, and even your heart. Also, people that nag about you not working enough. Huge health risk, both to themselves and others. We aren't ever gonna make them happy no matter what, so fuck 'em, let them freak out and have a heart attack. My roommate went through a period where he was only eating the garbage food he got for free from work, and only drinking coffee or beer. He ended up with a terrible intestinal blockage and had to spend a few nights in the hospital. I had never realized before then that constipation could be anything more than an occasion nuisance. Thankfully he is okay and has totally changed his eating habits and as far as I know hasn't had any more bowel issues. This is one of the reasons why, when a doctor or nurse asks you if you take any drugs, you 100% need to be honest. They're not going to report you or whatever. In the US, at least, they're actually legally forbidden from doing so, but they do need to know. A lot of medical drugs can have interactions with recreational drugs that can kill you. Not really a precise answer, but never overestimate the strength of glass. Garage door springs. A neighbor of mine tried to change them once. He moved them wrong and boom, the explosion was as loud as a shotgun. The guy was dead. Charcoal burning in a small enclosed area creates carbon monoxide. The sun. QAnon. Guns. Sitting for long periods of time. I worked 12-hour shifts overnight sitting at computer monitors and then went home and slept all day. Had to have emergency thrombectomy for a DVT at 36. Completely healthy otherwise and now my leg hurts all the time. I've said this before but I'll say it again. Unloaded guns. Ditto with Viagra and poppers. Mosquitoes deadliest creature on the planet, yo. Other drivers. Oh shit. Till. The sun. Put on some dang SPF. Drinking water. A simple 3 gallons can give you water toxicity and kill you. Following advice from TV news. For months now, right-wing media has been spewing anti-vax and anti-mask rhetoric. Before Jan 6, they were helping to incite the insurrection. For decades, they've been encouraging people to vote against a healthcare system that would provide more care at a lower cost. And they've consistently told viewers to vote against their own best interests by voting for a party concerned with giving more wealth to the wealthy at the detriment of the poor and middle class. Stress, alcohol, cigarettes, ticks, misinformation, social media. Especially since people don't often know the active ingredient, acetaminophen, is in a lot of things.